Do 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 do. If I sing it, is it copyright?
Hopefully not. So we're going to sing the song in your ears this morning, afternoon, evening, or good night. Hello, Chloe.
Hi, Stephen.
How are you?
Why did you say hello like
I
you
don't
haven't lived with me for the past 4 years?
I mean, I've lived for you. I've lived for you. I've lived for you.
You lived
I've
for
lived
me.
for you. I've lived with you for a very long time.
Yeah, we've lived together now for 5 years.
We
but
have. Congratulations on
six,
half a
but
decade of coping with me
living
in
together,
a small space.
just the two of us.
Exactly.
Not.
I don't know. I was just feeling grateful that you're by my side and we get to record a podcast.
That's great.
That's all. How are you?
I'm good. We've been together for the last
We've been
hour, but
yeah.
it's fine. I'm good. I'm just cracking on. I'm old.
You are old. It was Chloe's birthday, everybody. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Only comes out once a year. What? You seem downtrodden that you've
No, I'm
turned
alright.
28.
I'm just very solemn.
Yeah?
Yes.
At peace.
At peace.
Comes with age, doesn't it?
Yeah. This year is about protecting my peace.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
And taking time out, you know.
I think that's completely
Someone
understandable.
asks me, do I want to do something? What do I say?
Let me get back to you.
Let me get back to you.
Yeah.
Not just yes, because I will get tired.
And one yes clearly does not suffice.
No, I can't just say yes to one thing. I have to say yes to everything. So now, if anyone asks me for anything, you'll be met with, let me get back to you on that.
I'll be back.
And then probably
I'll be
2 minutes
back.
later, yes, I will be there.
Yeah, of course I will.
But yeah.
But a light consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
How are you?
Very good. I'm not solemn like you, but I'm very at peace. I feel good. I feel relaxed.
I wouldn't say you're at peace. I would say you're like at peak.
At peak.
You're motivated.
Yeah, I'm very, very motivated at the moment. I'm
Speaking of peak,
smashing
though,
everything.
actually, I did have my work conference.
It's all right. We weren't talking about me.
Sorry,
but
no,
go
but we were talking about my first.
I'm joking,
Coming
go on.
back to me.
But
actually,
now back
this is
to
for
me.
you as well.
Okay.
They've they uploaded all the photos, and there are quite a few of me.
Wonderful.
Some of them are me in a tree.
I look forward to seeing these photos.
Yes.
So this was for Chloe works for Virgin. This is Virgin's like peak conference celebration of sort of everything they've done in the year.
And what's coming up next year.
And what is coming up next year. Not much to report in terms of next year. But
Not much
also,
that I can say.
Not much, yeah. Not
Um,
much that can legally be shared.
Yes.
But that being said, we've got loads of things happening. Like we are on under 100 days until
Oh, God,
the wedding.
so-
But again, that's why I'm not going to mention too much of it because that is the sort of greeting I'm met with. So we're going to move on to something far more
the
magical.
stress. Oh,
Far more magical. Well, no, saying that, our wedding day probably is going to be pretty spectacular, pretty magical in the first place.
it will
But
be.
we are talking about the wizarding world of Harry Potter today.
Hence the theme song.
Hence the theme song, hence the question from last week, which was...
Where can you send mail from in the wizarding world?
Well, just find your nearest owl and hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
In Hogsmeade, you can go to Owlpost.
Exactly.
So, yes, you can. There was
So
one.
what can you actually do? Is it send a letter or send...
I think you can send a letter and you can also buy
What about
things.
a howler? Can I send a howler?
You probably can.
That'd be nice.
I read that the other one they had in Diagon Alley is closed.
Okay.
And that one, you can only send things to the US.
Okay.
So whether or not this is the same situation, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Whereas in Disney, you can do it from
Main
Magic
Street.
Kingdom, can't you? On
Yeah.
Main Street. Perfect.
Absolutely. So
and
I
that
don't
can
know
go anywhere in the world.
exactly how it works, but it just says you can mail letters complete with the special Hogsmeade postmark.
That is pretty cool.
I think
like
it
that.
is like postcards and stuff, which is still quite cool.
Yeah. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. So that is the answer to last week's question, which leads in to what we're talking about today.
Exactly. We are focusing on everything Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now,
Mhm.
it is quite prominent in 3 parks in the US, but then it's also prominent in other locations. But I think for most of the planning that I've done for today, I've spoken nearly exclusively just about the American parks, mainly Florida, just because they have the 3 distinct areas. Other
Yes.
parks in the world have kind of just copied those. Yeah, there are some
Copycats.
unique. There are some. Yeah, they are a little bit copycatty, aren't they? It's like, I want a Hogsmeade.
No, I want a Diagon Alley.
I want a Diagon Alley. But basically, we're just going to kind of talk through all of those. There's loads of hidden details. We'll talk about food. We'll talk about drink. We'll talk about our favourite parts. We'll talk about your favourite parts, and then kind of go from there with absolutely everything. So, Chloe, I'm going to give you a choice. Where should we start? Would you like to start in Hogsmeade, or would you like to start in Diagon Alley?
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley.
That's where it all starts.
What do you mean? It all starts. Not technically in terms of where it started.
No. But
From
as
a
in,
timeline
like,
point of view,
if you're going to Hogsmeade, you have to go Diagon Alley to then go to Hogsmeade.
Very, very true. Oh, so you're talking about my actual wizarding journey.
Your actual wizarding journey.
Of
you
course.
start Diagon Alley.
So once I've received my my post fresh from Hogsmeade, I can then go to Diagon Alley. Now, Diagon Alley actually opened on July the 8th, 2014. So is it not crazy to think that Diagon Alley has been there over a decade now? I find that a little bit crazy because for me, it's almost felt like it's always been there.
Yes, about to say, it doesn't feel like new. It feels like it's always been there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things with Diagon Alley is that...
Diagonally.
Don't, because you'll end up in Hogsmeade or Hergsmeade if you say it wrong. But essentially, this basically topped off a massive expansion two big expansions over the course of 5 years at Universal and across Islands of Adventure, that they really just kind of aped in on Harry Potter. And God, did they not disappoint us. Like, I still think that these are arguably some of the most impressive places in a theme park anywhere in the world. Yeah,
and I think if you've been to the studio tour in Watford, like, Diagon Alley is cool to see because they filmed it. Teeny tiny place.
And I think that's probably one thing that we'll keep coming back to with this episode is actually perspective and scale. Perspective, scale, and immersion. Of course, I'm going to talk about immersion in the first place. But actually, when Diagon Alley opened in 2014, here's a crazy little stat for you. So, attendance for Universal Studios went up 17% in one year just because of the opening of Diagon Alley.
Well, like, you think about it, what else, like, as in the whole land area, that draws in a big crowd.
Yeah. And then, the year after that, it went up another 16%.
Insane.
So probably accumulatively over the 2 years, they made their park attendance go up by a third because of one land expansion.
Well, there you go.
Which is crazy. Now, we've spoken about this before. It was built, rest in peace, it was built on the site of the former Jaws ride, which was, absolutely amazing. And obviously we'll talk about some of the rumours which we've mentioned, I'm pretty sure before, but it was closed and made way for this wonderful immersive land. Now, the expansion is estimated to have cost between $400 and $450 million, making it one of the most expensive theme park expansions at the time. Okay?
At the time,
because obviously when we think about Epic Universe was in the billions, yada, yada, yada. There's more things coming. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love when it comes to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and when they do these expansions, I feel like some of the cast members are just on absolute retainers.
Team
that
members.
No matter...
We're not in.
No. Cast members of the actual film, Chloe.
Oh,
Let me finish,
I
girl.
You were saying cast members as in like people that work in the Wizarding World.
No. I am
members.
saying cast members of the actual original films, not the HBO series that is due to come out, are pretty much on retainers for whenever there is an opening anywhere in the world. So for the opening of Diagon Alley, you did have Domhnall Gleeson, you had Bonnie Wright, Ivana Lynch, Matthew Lewis, and of course Tom Felton, who just never seems to let go of Harry Potter.
No.
You see that he's now back as Draco Malfoy.
Fantastic,
in The Cursed Child.
Though.
He does.
I think that's insane.
He does look great.
He does.
And I bet you, I'd love to know.
He looks just like what an older Draco would look like.
Yeah, it's almost like they've cast the same guy.
He is older, and he played the original Draco.
The idea that someone like Tom Felton has literally spent 3/4 of his life in some form of Harry Potter commitment is
easy money. I say easy money. It's not easy what he does, but you know that there's going to be something you can do.
Exactly. But I think one of the things that you will notice, especially with Diagon Alley compared to, although saying that Hogsmeade is kind of in the same category, they do feel quite compact, which again I think mimics exactly what you got from the film when Harry kind of first steps along those cobbled stones and steps into Diagon Alley. So my favourite feature of this entire place is the do you know what the dragon is Do you know what breed it is? Because I know that you're very familiar.
Grey backhorn dragon.
Horned? No, it's a Ukrainian iron belly that sits atop
I knew
of
it was
Gringotts Bank,
Ukrainian.
breathing how often?
Once every
Go on.
15 minutes.
You are spot on. Well done, Chloe.
Thank
okay,
you.
every single 15 minutes, and the signal to look out for is the rumble. Now, I'm pretty sure that is every hour on the hour and
It
then
is,
on
yes.
the 15s and all
You're
that.
correct.
So if you're ever wanting to get that kind of photo of the flames coming out, like make sure you time it correctly, because otherwise you
guys,
could be there.
make sure you time it correctly.
Yeah, maybe because
Maybe
you might
get it right.
You might be there for a really long time. I see some people sitting with their phones being like, I hope it comes soon. And you're like, it's like 4 minutes past the hour. You're like,
You've got 9 more minutes, 11 more minutes. So.
yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Now, obviously, one of the prominent features is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, which is the signature ride.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Gringotts as a ride?
One thing annoys me about it.
Go on.
We go down in a lift
Yes.
to then come back up a flight of stairs.
Well, you go down
drop
in
us.
a lift.
Yeah, but just drop us off at the right level. Do you know what I mean?
Just get your lifts
You
right,
go down.
basically.
You go down a slope, then you go down in the lift, then you have to go up again.
Yeah. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy in that
I
bank.
really enjoy it.
Yes. What would you rate it out of 10? On the fly. What would you
8.
rate? Yeah. I would say it is
There's
a solid
a few
8
things,
out of
though,
8 out of
that
10
when
attraction.
it doesn't work, it
Mhm.
annoys me.
Yes.
And the main thing is the final dragon pull fly
Yes.
thing. When that hasn't got the smoke
And when it's already
and
open,
you can see the door,
yeah,
no,
it doesn't work as nicely.
no.
Okay. But also, I think, maybe this is because of my age, maybe this is because of the generation that we belong to. I think it'd be much better if you put captions at the bottom, like with a good Netflix film, because all I want to hear is actually what Bellatrix is trying to say, if I'm being honest.
She says,
No,
she goes,
in my vault.
I can't think of.
I
I
can't
don't know what
even
she
remember.
says. She's like,
It just makes me laugh.
who are you? Or something.
Who are
I
you?
love you, Bugabon.
Do you know what it
What are
sounds
you
like?
doing?
It sounds like your sounds like your vocal warm up. Ooey ooey ooey.
It does, doesn't it? I don't know. I didn't know at a time what she said. I remember looking it up to be like, what does she actually say?
Yeah, but do you know what I find that is equally as impressive with that ride is like the set pieces where you are just walking into Gringotts Bank, and it's to the scale of what it would have been. Like I feel like I'm a
Yes.
wizard going to deposit me monies. I forgot what the name of the currencies were then. Nuts.
Nuts
Something
and
else.
Bolts.
Nuts and bolts. No, that's. Are you playing Ratchet and Clank or?
No.
you're just giving me random things that you'd find in a toolbox. So thank you for that,
I
Chloe.
don't remember.
Obviously, you've also got the Hogwarts Express, which I think has been drastically improved since they first had it with the.
I had a cool
with the
fact
Hermione.
about that.
Did you actually?
I do.
I'm gonna let
I
you.
do.
I'm gonna let you find that
quickly open up
while we're doing that.
my notes.
I suppose my big question. I much prefer doing Diagon Alley to Hogsmeade rather than Hogsmeade to Diagon Alley. I feel like the journey is better in terms of what you're actually seeing out the window, and obviously the Dementor is a key thing for me. I think that's really cool. I wish it had a little bit more clarity out the window. I know it's a screen, but the one, the internal carriage one. I wanted a little bit more of that, but there has been a massive improvement since they've redone the voice of Hermione to make it sound a little bit more like it. But again, I think it's really playful with the chocolate frogs bouncing around. Everything is just good, and I think that's a lovely way to make sure that people are moving from park to park rather than having to sort of do the long way round. That's what I really, really enjoy.
Nice.
One of the other things that we really like as well is the interactive wands. You used to have an interactive wand, didn't you? I thought you did.
Yes.
No, but yes.
Yes, I
Are you
did.
just not telling muggles like me, or are you keeping it a secret?
Oh, did I have an interactive
I thought you had one and you
wand?
lost it and you didn't
No,
bring it back.
I had a replica wand because that's the one I lost,
Gotcha.
which I got though before I went out on my program.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
I think I did.
I think one of the things, and maybe this is just me, and I think I always come back to this sort of like gamification. Like, I think it's really cool that you can interact with so many things, and I think this sort of second generation of wands has been a massive improvement in terms of the interactivity and how well the sort of scenery responds, and it makes you feel like you're a proper wizard. But what I would love is if there were a couple of like little games that you could play in the windows, and there were like scores that you could get, and that links to like your Universal Experience app. Those sorts of things would be really, really cool for me, because then I feel like I'm working towards something rather than I go to this window and I do this swish and flick and suddenly the pots and pans fly around.
Great.
Maybe that's just a me.
Well, I've got a fact about the Hogwarts Express.
Go on, Chloe.
How many journeys do you reckon it did in its first month?
In its first month. I mean, technically, probably only one, because they just do one train out of King's Cross, and if you miss it, then you've got to take the car. Oh, sorry. No, we're being
So funny.
we're being dead serious,
so
aren't we?
funny. You know, I'm asking you a question. How many
How many
did it do?
is that back and forth, back and forth?
Journey. So yeah,
Okay.
not back and forth. Is it there?
10,000.
One more.
Really? 20,000.
More.
Tell me.
Keep going.
More. 30,000.
More.
57,000. 100,000.
More.
You're joking. In the first month.
More.
How many?
1 million journeys
1 million journeys in a month.
in a month.
How many times does that have to go back and forth in a day
No
to
idea.
equate that? Is it because they've got two trains going? I mean, to be fair, it does go quite often. Actually, I'm gonna do some maths and maths
I mean,
in, by the way.
this
on
is
that one.
also I did get this fact from a very reliable source.
Which was Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna half trust that.
I'm
in all
going to half
honesty.
trust it as well because it did tell me though that there you go. It says, hang on,
1 million journeys in the first year.
no, 1 million riders.
Riders. I was gonna say 1 million journeys was so much, Chloe.
Yeah, but
That would've
I
been
was really the
unbelievable.
math wasn't mathing. 1 million riders though is still a lot.
1 million riders is great, but I tell you what, the idea of doing 1 million journeys, that train would have just been.
Tell you what, guys, don't get ChatGPT to condense your notes because that caught me out there.
Well, there you go. A couple of other prominent features that you will find in Diagon Alley is the Leaky Cauldron, which is obviously your full-service restaurant, offering you traditional British food.
Would you like the menu?
I would like the menu, just while I talk about these other things. We've also got Ollivander's Wand Shop, which again is a wonderful wand-choosing ceremony. I know that Harry's been involved in that before, and is just kind of wonderful. You've obviously got Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlour, which is, quite frankly, utterly stunning and well worth a trip to. And then you got Madame Malkin's Robes for all occasions and several other unique shops. Go on, tell me a
Well,
little bit about the Leaky Cauldron,
Leaky
in terms of the
Cauldron.
food options.
Open for breakfast.
Now, somebody actually did respond to us on, I can't
Mhm.
remember the name because I looked at the responses just before we came on, but one person said that they love getting the breakfasts from the restaurants in both Hogsmeade and...
Yeah, because normally you can get butterbeer,
Diagon
but I
Alley.
will say on the beverages it
Yeah.
doesn't show butterbeer on there as
Okay.
an option.
So
So
what are some of the breakfast options?
traditional breakfast, so you're talking scrambled egg, sausage, black pudding, bacon,
Oh, they do
baked
black
beans,
pudding. I
grilled
didn't know that.
tomato, mushroom, and breakfast potatoes.
Very nice.
An American breakfast, which is egg, potatoes, bacon, sausage, and a butter croissant. Don't know how it makes it American.
Last time I checked, a croissant was French.
Pancakes. You can also get, I mean, if you're getting this is a stupid thing to spend your money on. Apple oatmeal flan with yogurt and fruit, $20.
Wow, for
These
a
are all
flan?
20, and then egg, leek, and mushroom pasty,
Okay.
$20 as well.
Nice. What about sort of main menu? Like, what's sort of like the main British staples that they
Lunch
sort
and
of
dinner. Well,
classify?
I have eaten here before actually.
And how would you
um,
rate it?
Interesting.
Okay.
They got a beef lamb and Guinness stew
Okay.
for $19.
Okay.
Hunter's chicken, cottage pie, fish and chips, bangers and mash, fisherman's pie, mini pie combination, Scotch eggs, vegan curry, soup and salad, shepherd's pasty pie.
Okay.
Shepherd's pasty pie?
So very much typical British food,
yes.
for sure.
I mean, we had the fisherman's pie, me and Dylan.
How was it? Not
Very
great,
small.
really.
I wasn't impressed by the size.
So a
if I'm
Fisher
honest.
Child's
How much do you
pie.
reckon a Scotch egg is?
Scotch egg, probably about $8, $9.
$5.50.
Okay, maybe not.
So
Sorry, I always overinflate when it comes to
how much do
universal
you reckon
food.
it is to add one banger?
One banger
Yeah.
depends.
Add
What's the
add
size of the banger?
One. How much?
$3.
$5.50.
$5.50 for a single banger. You're ever
Yeah,
laughing?
you can also get a banger sandwich,
Okay,
which I'm guessing is just a sausage sandwich, and specialty chicken.
very nice.
And you've
okay,
also
cool.
got sticky toffee pudding,
Lovely.
beer butter potted cream,
Okay,
chocolate potted cream.
thank you.
Sorry, you're welcome.
You're all
These are
good.
All the items you can get.
One of the other things that I absolutely love is the fact that you've got the whole London facade out the front, and you've got the night bus where you can obviously interact with.
Take it away, Ern.
I can't remember what his name is. It's not
Don't know.
Ernie. Yeah,
It's not
take it
Ernie,
away,
please.
Ernie.
Take it
Essentially.
away, Ern.
And then you've also got Grimmauld Place and a creature peering out from
Not
behind.
a creature.
Not a creature.
Creature.
That's creature with a K, people. Put some respect on that name. Now, there are some little hidden features that I want to quickly talk about. So some of the gold in Gringotts Bank was actually used as a prop in the actual Harry Potter films, as was some of the Quidditch gear in quality Quidditch supplies. You've also got a record store window outside of Diagon Alley, which has fake album covers, which are reference to the creative team who were kind of making the attraction in the first place. So, for example, one of the things that I quite like is there is an album called Joe Says No, which is a playful nod to J.K. Rowling.
Oh, very good.
And then you've also got a vanishing cabinet inside Borgin and Burke's in Nocturne Alley. And if you listen very, very carefully, you can actually hear a bird tweeting, because that is a direct reference to what happened in The Half-Blood Prince when Draco Malfoy is trying to use the vanishing cabinet. Okay.
Well,
then there's also the urban legend, which we've spoken about before, that Jaws is buried somewhere beneath
underneath the fountain.
Somewhere beneath the fountain, which is absolutely hilarious.
Ludicrous.
So, should we move over to Hogsmeade?
Yeah.
So, Hogsmeade, on the other hand,
Hogsmeade,
opened
Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade. I tell you what, I'm gonna mention it now. The show in Hogsmeade is just one of those things that just grinds my gear.
Really?
Maybe it's just because
I think it's the person hosting it.
Do you know what it is? It's the over pronunciation of. It's the overly Britishness. Maybe it's because I'm a Brit.
And you don't want to be.
And I'm like, no,
getting away from that.
No. I'm trying to escape from this. It's like, we're having such a wonderful time at Hogwarts, and I'm like, please stop.
I hated how your face looked when you did that.
Oh, I'm glad I gave
Please
you
don't do
every
it
single
again.
ick. Hogwarts.
Stop doing it.
Sorry. So I'm going to say Hogwarts now. Hogsmeade opened in June of 2010 and is roughly 20 acres. And at the time, so this was pre-Hagrid's, it cost $265 million to expand the Islands of Adventure and obviously get rid of dueling dragons. Again, they saw a massive increase in park attendance. So even between 2010 and 2011, their park attendance went up 65% in that time because of the opening of Hogsmeade.
Crazy.
Maybe some other contributing factors as well.
I wasn't there for the opening, but I was there near around it because I remember the Weasley twins were there for the grand opening celebration, and they were on my flight home.
Were they actually?
And then I had a photo with them, and I got their autograph. Where it is now, unknown. Where that photo is, unknown. But I remember I messaged my boyfriend at the time, who was no one other than my friend Bryony's husband,
Fantastic.
James. And I went, never guess who I've just met.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
So yeah, I remember meeting them and then talking to them about trying to find my luggage on the carousel.
I mean, fair enough. Good for you.
That's it.
I always get too scared when I see celebrities. Like, I don't want to
Stephen,
kind of
you
say
get
anything.
scared asking for the bill at a restaurant sometimes.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's just easier to flash your card in the air and close your eyes and hope for the best.
Sometimes it's easier just to know that I'm going to do it.
Well, exactly.
Whereas I'm like, I'm just going to go and say hi.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rody.
You go and do you.
Yeah.
And I'll sit in my
and you'll look back at it and go,
corner.
Oh man, I wish I went and said hi to Joe Rody.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Dreamer, not a doer. Introvert.
Yep.
Through and through.
But it's alright, but we made
That's
a new rule last night, guys.
We did.
On my birthday, that whoever asks for the bill at a restaurant doesn't pay.
Yeah.
So this is going to work in my favour.
Exactly. Can't pay, we'll take it away. Right. So obviously there's 3 major rides that are in Hogsmeade. So we've obviously got Forbidden Journey inside Hogwarts Castle. We've got Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. I don't know why I always go for the longer version of some of these. And then you've also got Flight of the Hippogriff. Now, what would you rate all of those out of 10, just very quickly, on the fly?
Okay.
Forbidden Journey,
6.
Okay, I'd probably go 7. What would you rate Hagrid's?
10.
It is a 10. Of course it is. It's a perfect 10.
10 out of 10.
It's a 10 from Chloe. And then what about Flight of the Hippogriff?
I'd give it a 5.
Yeah. It
Maybe
is
a
a mid tier.
It's a kid's coaster. It's a Woody Woodpecker. It's a Barnstormer, but slightly better than Barnstormer. Yeah.
Now, what I will say, especially with something like Forbidden Journey, I think when I first rode Forbidden Journey, I was like, I can't believe that this is a ride system. I thought it was so
Yes.
impressive. Now, obviously, some bits are a little bit kind of jankier and less clear now.
Mhm.
But that being said, I still think that ride is
I think the
terrifically
sets are
impressive.
insane. It's just the screens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a good time on that ride because of the screens. The queue, fantastic.
Oh,
Fantastic beasts and where to find them, you
again.
know?
I was wondering where you were going with that. Yeah, I do think, like, it's always a pity that Forbidden Journey sits now at like a 10-15 minute wait, because I want to do the longest sort of version of the queue so that I can kind of take my time and kind of see everything, because there are so many elements that you normally skip past. Like I genuinely believe like 1 or 2 times have I been in that room where Ron, Hermione and Harry actually tell you why you're doing it. Like, hey, by the way, we're going to sneak you into here and do this. Apart from that, you just kind of get on the ride and Hermione's like, what does she say?
Over here.
Which, again, Chloe always does in my ear, and it really throws me.
Yeah,
and
because I think that's a pretty
kind of
good
puts me off.
impression.
I do think it's very, very good. And actually, when you're in the ride, okay, if anyone else is privileged enough, I mean, partially I'd wonder why you're sitting next to Chloe in the first place. Get her to whisper in your ear, and you will believe that Hermione is there.
I don't actually whisper in ears. There's a whole, like,
that was arguably one of the strangest sentences I've ever said on this podcast.
The lift thing next to your head, so I'm not actually in anybody's ear. But I think that's what adds to it. It's a little bit muffled, and whenever you hear it on the ride, she is quite muffled. So it works very well.
Absolutely. Then we've obviously got Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, which opened in 2019. And
Fantastic.
I genuinely believe that this is probably one of those coasters that absolutely changed the game for both Universal and actually Florida theme
Hands
parks.
down.
You know, because
Absolutely.
when you think about all of the different elements that are available on that ride, especially, and your mum,
yeah.
when you think about all of those elements, like, that is ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I actually love being able to sit near the back, because I think you get an amazing experience at the front because you see everything super clear, and when you kind of go up and kind of pause, you get an amazing view, and you're like, oh my god, we're actually ridiculously close to the end. If you're at the back, just turn around and watch the track switch. The track switch.
But then turn back around, otherwise you will hurt yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't do your neck in, but watching that track change and how quick it is, you see why that ride sometimes goes down, by the way.
I saw a video of someone proposing on that ride the other day.
How?
Yeah.
At which bit?
It was at the launch.
Was it on the drop?
No, it was at the launch after Hagrid's Hut. So quite early on.
That is a really early time.
I thought, that's an interesting... But also, I mean, out on the ride itself.
Yeah.
How they filmed it.
I mean, the only thing that I was going to say is don't do it right at the start, because if they say no, that is the most... Like, you've still got so much fun that you could be having. You imagine looking absolutely miserable and then being like... And then dropping and then hitting your button for Dragonfire, and it's like...
Yeah.
That'd be heartbreaking.
Scary about losing the ring, though, isn't it?
So other prominent features is you've got Honeydukes, which is the wizard candy shop.
Always busy.
Always busy, always overpriced.
Yes.
That's all I'll say. Dervish and Bangs, which is magical supplies. Zonko's joke shop. Filch's Emporium of confiscated goods. And you've also got the 3 broomsticks, which brings me to Chloe with that wonderful little menu.
Well, I just put in 3 broomsticks. Oh, there you go.
And what's it said?
It said no. But now I've got it. It's just
No
it's not
broomsticks.
the 3 broomsticks. It's just 3 broomsticks.
Yeah, it's just 3 broomsticks.
Breakfast. Let's have a
What
look
are
at
the breakfast options here?
They have got. It is the exact same, pretty much, except
Cool.
they have more child options, and they've got a continental breakfast
Lovely.
and no apple and oat flan.
No flan.
No flan. But
No
they
flan to
then
be found.
in the main part of the day, your lunch and dinner, you can get spare ribs.
Okay.
You can get chicken and ribs, chicken, shepherd's pie, fish and chips, more chicken salad, beef pasties, and then you can get the great feast.
Isn't this the thing that's like $60 or something like that?
$75.
Oof.
The feast on a bountiful combination of smoked chicken and spare ribs, corn on the cob, roasted root vegetables, broccoli, potatoes. Serves 4. I don't know. Do the math. $20 a person?
Maybe. All I will say is, from sort of combination plates and all that, I would much rather have the one over at Mead Hall in Epic Universe in Isle of Burke.
Yes.
That one looks
Yes.
really, really good. Again, still quite pricey for a sharing platter, but looks really, really good.
Oh, goodness me. Do you know
Go
how
on.
much it is for the stainless...
Goodness me.
The souvenir stainless butterbeer?
probably $40. It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, exactly. Still not
Absolutely
as bad as Trader Sam's with some of their cups as
Courtesy
well.
cup of water, $0.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness. So a couple of fun facts about it is in the restrooms near Hogsmeade, you can hear Moaning Myrtle echoing around the
Yes.
public conveniences as if she's haunting the pipes.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Honeydukes, pots and pans appear to be scrubbing themselves.
Yes, seen that.
Which is really, really fun. If you look closely at the Hogsmeade clock tower, an owl will periodically pop out like a wizarding cuckoo clock, which again I quite like.
Lovely.
You can send owl post, which I really, really like as well. And then
Yes.
in the window of the quill shop, a long quill is writing itself a ledger with scratching sounds and everything like that. And obviously,
Lovely.
if you go to the Hogshead pub, you can also see the kind of moving head as well, which is quite fun. Have you ever watched the projection show here?
A very long time ago in the queue for Hagrid's in the night.
I think it's cute. I'm surprised they
Yeah.
don't make more of it, if I'm being honest with
Universal don't really do nighttime shows though.
No,
which
but
I think they
I
should.
think that would be really, really nice. But then again, I also understand it because viewing-wise, there really isn't a lot of space to watch something.
No.
Yeah.
It would be bad.
It'd be crazy.
So don't do it.
But let's kind of move over to one of the newer places, which of course is the Ministry of Magic in Epic Universe. Now, what was your first reaction, Chloe, when you stepped round that corner and went through the arch and saw this land for the first time?
More French than I do in Epcot.
Okay.
I like the space. It's a big
Ooh la
area.
la.
Ooh la la. The music in the tent for the show, an absolute bop.
Of course
as you
it is.
know, I love it.
But again,
I just find it very large and wonderful. The colours, the set design, it's very, very good.
It does feel incredibly grand, and I think it was one of the first things that we pointed out when we went on our trip in May, was we were talking about like how much more foot space there is, because there's actually a lot of space that is not used in that sort of location. So you've almost got this kind of like this sort of Y shape in a way. Now I love the little alleyways around the right hand side, but also if you go to the sort of Y fork, which is the right at Cirque d'Arcanus, there is so much space that is just kind of not being used apart from a couple of shops. So it does make me think, if they are going to expand like they're rumoured to the right hand side and they're going to add some form of ride there, are they going to make the entranceway through that, through that particular archway? But then obviously you do the left hand turn and you go into the Ministry of Magic. Now, I would argue that the Ministry of Magic queue and the area for Ministry of Magic is the most impressive area of Wizarding World of Harry Potter anywhere on the globe. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
And
Hands
why
down.
is that?
I think just that it's so great. You think about the ministry, the Gringotts set. It's like even more in the movie than that.
Because I think it the exact size of actually once you've kind of done the flu powder thing and gone through, the actual size is pretty much spot on to what it was in the film. So when you talk about like actually stepping into the movie, which again I think Universal do so well, I honestly don't think that you can beat it. But then you obviously get to the ride, and the ride is, again, a very, very unique system. So I think one of the most impressive things when you actually come to the ride, and I'll try and avoid as many spoilers as possible, but when you actually come to the ride, like, you don't even realise that you're at the loading system.
No.
Because it is absolutely seamless. Like, when you do Gringotts and you're kind of in the main vault, and you can see, oh, I'm approaching the loading system, blah, blah, blah. Like, you literally don't get that with Ministry of Magic,
No.
and I think that is incredibly impressive. But again, because it is a kind of combination of screens and it's a combination of real life animatronics, of course, won't spoil anything in terms of the story or anything, but it is just a very, very, I think it's probably more seamless of screen and live than it was for Forbidden Journey.
Very
so I'm
much
glad
so.
that they've kind of learnt from that as a whole thing, because they are essentially track-based lift vehicles. But if you actually think about the size of them compared to your Forbidden Journey arm and what you would have for Monsters Unchained, that's what's really impressive for me, is the actual size and scale, because the height from sort of like where the bottom of the track is to the actual ceiling is probably double or triple what you would have for something like Monsters Unchained. It's
Yeah.
mental.
Very
mental,
high.
mental. But perhaps one of the most impressive things when it comes to it is that because of the vertical show building design, scenes are stacked vertically, so the ride needs to do coordinated lifts, lateral movements, and scene changes within a really, really compact footprint. So I think that's what makes Ministry of Magic one of those really, really impressive rides. But then you also come to Le Cirque Arcanus, which again,
Great show.
go and check out our review of Epic Universe, because we talk about that in loads more detail. In terms of the shops, we haven't really done like a full exploration apart from the kind of one shop, and we ate at one of the restaurants as well.
Yes.
Now,
Café Le de la Saline.
thank you very much, Chloe. So, what sort of things can you actually get there?
Well, it's all in French.
That's
So
spoiler alert and warning, everything in that menu is French. Be careful with what you order.
yes.
Chloe, proceed.
Because it is just written in French. So I like to say my French is all right, Jambon beurre. I know
Jambon is ham.
that's
isn't it?
ham. It's a ham baguette. I can figure it out,
Okay.
Quiche Lorraine, understood. Croissant supreme, easy to understand. Petite crêpe, I can understand that as well. But you can get the butterbeer crepe here. Now, there's no prices on this menu this time. But their breakfast is very crepe and croissant based.
Yes.
And then their mains actually sound quite nice. They have got a ratatouille baguette.
Very nice.
And they've also got this sort of like apple turkey brie baguette as well.
Mm.
And then they also have sort of like a stew, but 2 stews, I think. More quiche, more salads, and then you have got there's a really good baguette that I saw that I thought that sounds, it was the ratatouille one. Had roast tomato, zucchini, squash, eggplant, topped with red onion and arugula, which we call rocket.
Yes.
Drizzled with basil. Lovely. Dessert, though, you can get your beer bleu crepe. That's how I'm going to say it. Which is good. I will say
It's a butterbeer crepe, by the way, guys.
It's a butterbeer crepe, yeah, sorry. It's good. There's a lot of filling in it. It's not overly as sweet as you think it's going to be, but $20 for a crepe.
Yeah.
It's not even that expensive.
You think it's bad at Winter
guys,
Wonderland,
yeah.
people. It is crazy when you go to Epic
yeah.
Universe. That's all I'm going to say.
Expensive. They have got a lemon cream cheese one that sounds quite nice, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And obviously there's the Interactive 1 game that is all around as well. So you can trigger effects that involve nifflers, bowtruckles, demiguise and other creatures, along with some animated shop windows as well. Now, I was going to talk a little bit about some of the differences between, because you've obviously still got Universal Studios Hollywood, you've got Universal Studios Japan, and you've also got Universal Studios in Beijing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there isn't, I'll be honest, there isn't actually a massive difference between a lot of the ones that have started in Orlando and where they've kind of been in other places. So Hollywood, Japan and Beijing have a single Wizarding World land focused on either Hogsmeade and Hogwarts Castle. So the experience is very compact. Now, a lot of these parks don't have the same footprint as they do in Orlando, so therefore they've kind of had to model it around that in the first place. So with Hollywood, they only have Hogsmeade. It's modelled very closely on Orlando's version, but on a much tighter footprint. There's no Diagon Alley, no Hogwarts Express, though you can still do Forbidden Journey and Flight of the Hippogriff as well, along with the Castle Show. In the Universal Studios Japan, it has Hogsmeade and a Hogwarts area similar to Universal Studios. Again, has the same rides, same shops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's basically a carbon copy. Although one of the things that is quite nice with the Japan one, which I really love, is that it has some exclusives. So it's got the Black Lake beside Hogwarts, and it's much more secluded and forested with a kind of Stonehenge-style circle, which I really, really like.
Lovely.
Which gives you a little bit of a reveal. And then finally, with Universal Studios Beijing, you've got Hogsmeade with the castle, Flight of the Hippogriff. Every single thing is pretty much the same. So basically, you get a carbon copy of everything, in all honesty. So there's not that much difference. So my argument would be that if you are going to go to sort of Universal Studios in Japan, or you're going to do Beijing, or even Hollywood, to be fair, like if you've done Orlando a lot, like we have, then I probably wouldn't spend as much time in the Harry Potter sections, because you're pretty much getting a carbon copy, if not a slightly lesser version, unless obviously you go to Japan and you've got the Black Lake. Apart from that, you're not getting anything different, and I think that's one thing to always look out for. Okay, is it just going to be a carbon copy? Because my argument would be as well, if we were to ever do the Japan park, I probably wouldn't end up doing Super Nintendo World because it is a carbon copy.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see the original. But I wouldn't kind of queue for a lot of the rides because it's a carbon copy. So yeah, we also did actually reach out to you guys. So thank you very much for anyone who contributed to this. We asked you actually what were your favourite aspects about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and Chloe, I've
got them. So Rianne said the 3 broomsticks for breakfast after riding Hagrid's.
Yeah, what
Good
a way
choice
to start the day.
To do it after Hagrid and not before. 1 for the queue. 2 for keeping your breakfast down.
I also think you'd like by the time that you've waited for your breakfast and then queued up, you probably added 45 minutes to an hour on that queue.
Yep.
In the time that you've eaten breakfast.
Crazy.
Oof.
So my Auntie Claire has actually replied alongside with her husband Liam. So Claire has said mooching about and getting lost in the world, soaking in the details. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And then Liam said all the sets and the whole theming of the Wizarding World. Fantastic. Claire's daughter Meg then said the details in the shops in Diagon Alley. I love mooching around them and just taking it all in. Very similar to Claire. And then Meg's partner Reese. Everyone's getting involved, guys.
Got them. Bring the whole family to Parks and Pals. That's what I'm going to say, guys.
Is the Hogwarts castle both externally and internally?
I agree with you completely, Reese.
Nick said theming of the land.
Yeah.
We love some theming. Cam said surely it has to be the music. Or Florian Fortescue. Is that how you say it?
Fortescue, I think. Yeah, like that.
Ice cream. I do always get an ice cream when I go. Absolutely. Fiona said frozen butterbeer. The
Frozen
best kind of
is
butterbeer.
the top tier compared to anything else. I am just going to jump in with the music though, because I think that's always one of the things for me that goes very, very understated with Harry Potter's.
Yes.
Now, we've obviously grown up with Harry Potter. You know, I remember watching Philosopher's Stone when I was like 10 or 11. So I've literally grown up with those films. So whenever I hear any form of music, especially when you come to like the end of the ride, you get wonderful music there. You've got the atmospheric music. I don't know. There's something about that score that is truly spellbinding.
Well, Emily then said the music just makes it.
Of course.
And then Joe said, feeling part of the book/films that was such a big part of growing up and still are now. Absolutely, very nostalgic.
I was going to say it does really feed into my nostalgia as a child.
I've got one more.
Go on.
And M says, how immersive it is. The music, the attention to detail, it generally feels magical. Yes, it does. I'm not going to delete that story so no one else responds. Otherwise,
you're going to be heartbroken.
Everyone's going to be like...
So, that was everything to do with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which, again, just makes me want to walk along those cobbled stones and see that dragon breathing some fire, is what I'm going to say. Well, actually, I don't care where I am. I just want a frozen butterbeer in my hand.
Oh, absolutely.
In all honesty, because that would be so refreshing right now. Probably not in the freezing cold. Maybe I would want a hot one instead.
I do like a hot butterbeer as well.
So we are actually continuing with our series next week of Disney Decades, where we'll be moving into the 2000s, which again was a slightly controversial time for Disney, as there was a lot of change happening with the animation. No, with the animation studio.
Oh,
you had a lot of flops that was happening. So,
guys, the drama.
On the other hand, there were actually some resounding successes. So my question to you is, in the 2000s, what was the highest grossing film for Disney? Now, that could be live action or it could be animated. I'm going to let you decide which you think it is. But what is the highest grossing film for Disney in the 2000s?
What is it?
What do you think it is?
I know what it is. So.
Okay. Also, I'll just say a massive, massive thank you to anyone that's watched our Travel Day vlog.
Yeah,
because
thanks, guys.
That's had a really, really wonderful, amazing, spectacular response.
And you haven't seen
makes me feel...
Go check it out.
Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Oh, that's
which
nice.
is just what I want for Christmas.
Well, day one's coming out this week.
And
so
day one is coming out on Thursday.
To catch up.
So you've got time to catch up. Apart from that, we're going to kind of leave you to it. And we'll see you next week.
See you then.
We can cry when it's over.